Hello and welcome to the news at 10 on NTN News 24. We are reaching you live from Abuja. I am Chinenye Nwoye. First, let's bring you the headlines. Nigeria pledges support for Gabon's development, calls for peaceful coexistence amongst African nations as Gabon inaugurates new president. Federal government seeks media organizations' vigilance, says insufficient scrutiny threatens national security and public trust.
It is now time for us to finance those vaccines to make sure that as we introduce them, we have the money to fund them.
Respondent examines challenges of Nigeria's immunization program, focuses on child health care. Many thanks for joining us. Vice President Kashim Shettima was among dignitaries that attended the inauguration of Gabonese President Brice Clotaire Oligui Nguema. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports that this followed Oligui's election victory on April 12, 2025. The inauguration ceremony, which held at the Stade de l'Amitié Sino-Gabonaise in Libreville, Gabon, saw military parades, march past and display of Gabon's rich cultural heritage. The president of Gabon, Brice Clotaire Oligui Nguema, thanked citizens of the country for their overwhelming support for him, leading to his emergence as a democratically elected president. He pledged to work hard for the development of Gabon as well as empower the youth in order to secure the future of the nation, and also recognized the role of the United Nations as he pledged to work with them, just as he called for peaceful coexistence amongst African nations. Vice President Kashim Shettima has since returned to Abuja. The conclave to elect Pope Francis' successor will begin on May 7th as the Church enters the final preparatory phase for choosing its 267th Pope. At the 8th Novendialis Mass on Saturday, Pope Francis was hailed as a humble and compassionate pastor, one who maintained unwavering confidence in the vocation of women religious. Cardinal Angel Fernandez Airtime presided over the 8th Novendialis Mass for Pope Francis from St. Peter's Basilica, where he urged the faithful to make the Apostles' Easter joy a true program of life. Media reports say with barely few days to the election, attention turns to the strict protocols governing the secretive process of electing the next pope. Currently, 53 out of 135 voting cardinals came from Europe, and third of whom are Italians. Their collective priorities and concerns will influence not only the choice of the next pope, but also the direction of the Church in a rapidly changing world. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, says the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration is committed to national unity, territorial integrity, and inclusive governance. He made the remarks while receiving a delegation from the Northern Pentecostal and Charismatic Bishops' Communion of Nigeria, led by Archbishop John Praise Daniel. Shehu Mohammed Dati reports.
The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, urged religious leaders to support the federal government's efforts to promote national security and unity in line with the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. He emphasized the critical role of religious leaders in society, stressing their responsibility in fostering interfaith harmony and peaceful coexistence among Nigeria's diverse ethnic groups.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu believes he can do it no matter the circumstances. He's a veteran, politician and statesman. He believes in our country, its unity, its territorial integrity, and He runs the government that is very, very inclusive.
Archbishop John Praise Daniel commended President Tinubu for establishing the Federal University of Applied Sciences in Kachia, southern Kaduna, saying it has brought educational opportunities closer to the people. He also praised the government's commitment to economic development and its initiatives to boost agricultural productivity.
We have seen a lot of changes taking place, and we know this is just 2 years plus. By the time the president is doing his 4 years, I think we should be able to see a lot more developments taking place.
Prayers were offered during the visit for the continuous success of President Tinubu's administration and the progress of the nation. In Abuja, Shehu Muhammad Datti, NTA News.
Happy World Press Freedom Day. This is from the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris. As Nigeria joins the rest of the world to mark the day with the theme, Reporting on the Brave New World, the impact of artificial intelligence on press freedom and the media, the minister wants media organizations to be vigilant and not allow their platforms, whether traditional or digital, to be hijacked by subversive elements, terrorists, anti-state actors, or ultra-nationalist groups who seek to undermine the collective peace and the sovereignty of Nigeria. He said that granting such elements access to the public sphere without scrutiny not only endangers national security, but also erodes public trust in the media. He urged public and private media, including the civil society, to work together to protect freedom of expression while embracing technology that advances rather than diminishes the values that are so dear to the people. The government spokesperson in a statement reaffirms that the President Tinubu administration remains deeply committed to upholding press freedom as a cornerstone of democracy and assure the promotion of policies that promote media innovation while protecting journalists from the misuse of technology. The federal government, he added, is currently developing a national policy framework on the responsible use of artificial intelligence in the media space to ensure that innovation does not come at the cost of ethics, press freedom, or national security. The story of Nigeria can better be told by Nigerians. The Director General, Voice of Nigeria, Jibrin Baba Ndache, emphasized this when he led management of VON to the office of one of Nigeria's indigenous telecommunications companies. Bolaji Hakim completes the report.
Voice of Nigeria currently broadcasts in about 7 international languages, and it's planning to increase the number by leveraging every available technology to achieve its mandate. This explains why management of the radio house, led by the Director General, is seeking partnership with an indigenous telecommunications service provider. The collaboration is expected to avail Voice of Nigeria the opportunity to tap into various human resources and technology required to tell the Nigeria story.
Leverage on Glo platform in deepening our storytelling opportunity, because our job is to consistently, continuously, truthfully, and believably, unapologetically be in the forefront of telling the stories of Nigeria and Nigeria, Africa and Africa. And we can't do that when we don't have the right technology.
For management of Globacom, the partnership, apart from providing high digital communication technology, will also serve as a means of propagating genuine and undiluted reports about Nigeria. Both organizations believe the collaboration will provide Nigerians the best information technology. In Lagos, Bolaji Hakim, NTA News.
Nigeria is working to ensure that all citizens gain digital skills by the year 2030 for communication and innovation. To support this goal, NITDA has held its first digital literacy stakeholders workshop in Abuja, emphasis on how to prioritize digital training in rural and underserved areas to fast-track progress. Chimdima Ndubisi reports.
The clock ticks. It's a race in time to meet the ambitious target of having 95% of Nigerians digitally literate by 2030. Currently, the nation stands at a 50% digital literacy rate in a world that is rapidly becoming more digital. To bridge the literacy gap, The National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, created a national digital literacy framework some time ago. And in a final push towards implementation, key stakeholders have gathered to strategize on how to translate the framework into action that positions Nigeria as a global digital leader.
Our target is by 2027, we should achieve 70%. So we can only be sure if we have data, we have record, and we work together.
We will develop scalable digital literacy programs that reflect Nigeria's diversities and realities.
The Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation has developed the first AI tool in Nigeria called ServiceWise GPT. Integration of digital literacy into our national education curriculum in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Education ensures that our students are prepared for the demands of the digital age.
Inauguration of the Implementation Committee marks a significant step toward fast-tracking the framework's rollout and achieving the 2030 digital literacy goal. In Abuja, Chimdema Ndubisi, NTA News.
Nigerian journalists will have to safeguard press freedom while embracing technological innovation, such as artificial intelligence. Suleiman Abdul Wahab reports that the Executive Secretary, Nigeria Press Council, Dr. Dili Ezuga, stated this during an event to commemorate this year's World Press Freedom Day.
We can lie. We can create falsehood. With AI, the choice is ours.
Speakers warned that careless use of AI, whether by media outlets or individuals on social media, could lead to spread of misinformation and distort public focus. They emphasized the need for vigilance to ensure national priorities are not misrepresented or overlooked.
What makes you a journalist is that you have your viewpoint, you have the way you write. So anything that limits your ability to express yourself, the way you want to express yourself, is curtailing your freedom.
Some may see it otherwise with the coming of the digital media. And the digital media has given a lot of the voiceless voices. But sometimes when you go into cyberspace, what you see is the jungle.
Media houses were also urged to invest in staff training focused on AI ethics and responsible content creation.
When you use AI to hack people, remove the authentic people sources and put your own face or that of another person is fraud.
The call also pointed out the media's vital role in safeguarding truth in the age of AI. It was also extended, particularly medical students were also cautioned against misusing AI to cheat in examinations.
I want to appeal, a special appeal to Nigerian developers of AI to think now or begin now to indigenize the AI, in fact, to create a Nigerian AI.
The gathering concluded with a renewed commitment to balance accurate and responsible journalism. In Abuja, Suleiman Tobu Abdul Wahab, NTA News.
This is the news at 10 on NTA News 24. We'll take a break here. There will be more reports when we return. Do stay. Many thanks for staying on. For more than 2 decades now, Nigeria has been providing life-saving childhood vaccines, with most immunization services offered free of charge at public health facilities. While the number of children benefiting from these services has increased substantially, the country still has the highest number of zero-dose children in Africa and ranks among the highest globally. In this report, Olusheye Adeabo examines the progress and persistent challenges of Nigeria's immunization program with a special focus on child health care.
Nigeria has for more than 20 years been consistently writing new chapters for the child health, especially through our immunization programs, introducing new several vaccines, with the latest being the malaria vaccine, the human papillomavirus vaccine, and the rotavirus vaccine. In recent data of the NPHCDA, the country has expanded access to life-saving vaccines to over 1.7 million zero-dose children, 105,000 children vaccinated with malaria vaccine in 2 high-burden states of Bayelsa and Kebbi, as well as 13.5 million girls aged 9 to 14 years vaccinated with HPV across 36 states and the FCT as of April 28, 2025.
It is now time for us to finance those vaccines to make sure that as we introduce them, we have the money to fund them, because there's no success except those vaccines get to the arms.
We're also going to be using tools to make this easier, traceable and measurable. So digitization of the immunization program is going to continue. The cold chain infrastructure will be strengthened. We're also really revamping the way we engage with the communities.
While states across the country have their own share of out-of-stock vaccines and other limitations, especially logistics and funding gap, the Nigerian government and partners have been leading initiatives. The latest is the launch of $191 million Health System Strengthening Grants, HSS3, a support project from Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance.
We are really focusing on the communities who are being missed. They're not just being missed by immunization, they're being missed by the health system.
But this is not just the accountability of the government or partners like UNICEF and Gavi. This is also the accountability of parents. They should know they have to take their children to be immunized.
With a clear commitment and sustained collective efforts, Nigeria is on the threshold of transforming its immunization program. In Abuja, Olusheye Adeabo, NTA News.
Non-teaching staff in Nigerian universities want inclusivity and transparency in the implementation of the student loan scheme initiated by the federal government to support Nigerian students achieve their educational dreams. This is coming from a presentation of the Workers' Union standpoint to newsmen in Abuja. Joseph Otsen reports.
In here is leadership of non-teaching staff in Nigerian universities, critically analyzing issues bothering development in the nation's education system. And a major policy the staff relish is the Students' Loan Scheme, initiated by the federal government as practiced in other countries prioritizing education as a pillar for growth.
Labour was initially involved in the board membership of the NEL Fund. NLC was represented, meaning the voices of the masses will be heard through its representation. But there was a sudden review, and that NLC was removed. And this becomes even more suspicious, because as far as workers are concerned today, whose children are the ones who are supposed to be benefiting from this, they are not informed.
The non-teaching staff of Nigerian university drew attention against marginalization, especially in the disbursement of the federal government-approved 50 billion naira earned allowances for university staff.
We have a circular from the Ministry of Education and from the National Universities Commission asking universities to file in their requests, to file in the data of people who are entitled to those allowances. And actually that is what will make sense.
For these workers, the university system will be handicapped if those responsible for its operations are not motivated. In Abuja, Joseph Otsen, NTA News.
To enhance healthcare delivery in Nigeria, collaborative efforts from individuals, organizations and government agencies remain essential for achieving quality outcomes. In a significant step towards this objective, the Dr. Obe Charity Foundation, a non-governmental organization, was officially launched in Abuja with a mission to provide medical care and support to underserved communities. Alika Owanachi reports.
The Nigerian government continues to make deliberate strides towards improving access to quality healthcare services. These efforts are being bolstered by key stakeholders and non-governmental organizations. Joining this vital cause is the Dr. Obe Charity Foundation, a non-governmental organization established to address the medical needs of vulnerable populations. The foundation formally launched with the unveiling of a book titled The Joy of Being Hurt, authored by its founder, Tosimi Obe Majesty, shared the inspiration behind both the foundation and her book, explaining that the publication delves into the complexities of human emotions and celebrates the strength that arises from resilience.
Young people, children, can give CPR overseas and save lives. We've seen 6-year-olds help their parents come back to life. While they're calling 911, they're giving chest compressions and their families have been saved. We can do this. We can make our schools, NYC camps and everywhere a place of training and start training people for free.
Health sector stakeholders applauded the emotional depth and philosophical insight of the book.
Lots of needless deaths, that happen in our society, and anything we can do to bring that down is certainly something that is worth supporting.
She was trained in this country. She now works in the United States of America, and she's come back. It's like giving back to your community. And this is what everyone should be thinking about. If you have benefited from the country in any way, then you should give back.
The book is dedicated to Dr. Obe Majesty's late father, a pioneering figure in Nigerian healthcare sector. He was the first medical doctor from Benue State and the founder of Salem Hospital in Otukpo, in Abuja. Alika Opanachi, Arua, NTA News.
Kogi State government says it is on course to improve citizens' access to clean water supply. Governor Usman Ododo disclosed this when he donated a multi-million naira water drilling machine to the Rural Water Supply and Sanitation Agency, RUWASA. This initiative aims to boost water supply across communities and the state, particularly in rural areas where access to potable water is often limited. The governor urged the management of the agency to ensure proper maintenance of the drilling equipment and other water facilities to maximize the impact of the initiative. The Commissioner for Water Resources, Yahaya Farouk, highlighted the governor's efforts to revive water supply in the state, noting that the ministry has achieved significant progress in supplying potable water to residents of Lokoja through a well-designed ration system. It's not there. Okay. The Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative, PCNGI, and the National Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW, has successfully enforced a 40% reduction in transport fares for CNG-powered taxis converted to CNG at no cost operating from Area 1 Motor Park in Abuja. Lydia Sampson reports on this move is to cushion the impact of high transportation prices due to fuel subsidy removal and make transportation more affordable for Nigerians.
NURTW members operating on key routes such as Abuja to Itakpe and Ajakuta, as well as Abuja Metropolis commercial drivers, had converted their vehicles to compressed natural gas, with government insisting that the resulting operational savings must translate directly into a 30 to 40% reduction in passenger fares. This is part of ensuring that the benefits reach commuters across Nigeria. Presidential Compressed Natural Gas CEO Michael Oluwagbemi announced that fares from Area 1 to various destinations have significantly reduced. Regional Coordinator, Presidential Compressed Natural Gas North, David Idako, delivered the program director's message.
Area 1 to Gwagwalada, when they were on fuel, it was going for 1,500 naira. We have been able to reduce it to 900. Area 1 to Buari Duse is also 1,500. That also has been reduced to 900. Area 1 to Kuje, when they were running on petrol, is 1,200. That also has been reduced to 720 naira. Area 1 to Galadima was 500. It has been reduced to 300.
The fare to Gwagwalada dropped from 1,500 to 900, while the trip to Nyanya decreased from 700 to 420. Other routes such as Area 1 to Wusi and Area 1 to Kabusa also saw a significant reduction. Over 50% of vehicles at the park have been converted to run on compressed natural gas. To ensure compliance, a joint PCNGI and NURTW task force has been established, with vehicles displaying CNG stickers and nude fare tags to notify passengers. And passengers have been encouraged to report drivers who fail to adhere to the new pricing tag.
Vehicles that have been converted, we have a price tag written on the vehicles, so that you as a passenger, if you are going to Gwagwalada Nyanya, you will notice that this vehicle is being converted and this is the price tag.
NURT Garki Branch Secretary Ibrahim Jibril confirmed the union's support, noting the drivers still benefit from lower fuel costs despite the fare cut.
Conversion has gone on very well. Of course, the gas is different to just petrol stations, so the infrastructure has lagged a little bit. But we have, currently now in Abuja, there are 10 stations. Be a bit more patient with us. We're getting there. We're working hard. As we're doing in Abuja, we're doing across the nation as well.
Although the initiative marks a significant step in making transportation more affordable while promoting cleaner energy in Abuja, challenges of CNG refilling stations is still a major concern. He's optimistic that the challenge is being tackled as more stations are in the pipeline. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
And that concludes the news at 10 on NTA News 24. Many thanks for watching. I am Chinenye Moe.